You're the go-to guy on DWI cases, and I wanted to ask you, in the case of LeVette Fuller, you're not representing her first, right?
No, not at this time.
Okay. What happens in a case like this where she did not give a breathalyzer test? All the evidence they have against her will be what at this point?
At this point, it'll be the testimony of the officer that was involved, plus the video, and there should be a body cam also.
Okay. Will we be able to hear her on that body cam at all, or no?
Yes.
So you
If
can hear her.
Yes, if there is a body cam, you'll be able to hear it. Also on the video from the patrol car.
Okay, so for those who are thinking she didn't blow, she's going to get off on this, they're not going to have enough evidence. What do you say to that as a lawyer?
Well, it depends on the quality of the video and how well she did on the field sobriety test. Those field sobriety tests are not pass-fail tests. They're the officers looking for factors in the walk and turn, the heel to toe, the HGN, and then based on those factors, they can testify that they believe that she was under the influence or not under the influence.
Your advice to her, and I know you don't want to give free legal advice, but your advice to her from this moment. She says she's going to issue a statement today. You obviously would tell her do that with advice from a lawyer, correct?
Correct.
And what should her statement be? What does she say today?
That everybody is presumed to be innocent under the law, and review the evidence and look at the video and draw your own conclusion to it.
Is it going to be tough to get a conviction without a breathalyzer? You know, we hear it all the time. Never take the breathalyzer. Don't do it. Is that what you tell folks too?
I tell them not to take any of the tests. Don't give the police any evidence of any intoxication, and then you have a better chance of winning the case.
So if they ask you, have you been drinking, what do you say, Ron Miciotto?
I'd like to talk to my lawyer before I give you any statements.
So you don't even speak to them at the scene?
I wouldn't.
Okay. If you handle her case, if this case came to you today, do you have a way? Do you attempt to get the body cam stuff thrown out?
Well, not necessarily thrown out because it's constantly running. But, it's the best evidence of what happened out there because the defendant has a version, the police have a version, and then you look at the video and the body cam and you draw your own conclusions to what you have seen yourself.
Okay, let me ask you this. If I don't do the breathalyzer and I get taken to jail and I have refused the test, don't they take my license for a certain period of time? What's happened with her now and her ability to drive?
Absolutely nothing. She will file an appeal, and she's entitled to due process and a hearing on her license, and they will give her a temporary driving certificate until that hearing is had.
What length is this process? How long is this going to typically take?
Usually takes anywhere from 6 months to 12 months to get it concluded.
Okay. And how pricey? I know there are some lawyers who are pricier than others. What do you, if I come to you and Ron, I've got a DWI, I got arrested for DWI. What are you going to tell me in terms of how much it's going to cost me to get a defense?
The defense could run you anywhere from $3,500 to $10,000, depending on, how difficult the case is, how many days of trial you'll be in, and whether you have any witnesses that, such as expert witnesses that you wish to testify.
Okay. And you handle these all the time?
On a regular basis, yes.
Why is this obviously was handled by a district court judge? I guess the city court judges decided, since she's a city councilman, they did not want to hear the case. Would that be your assumption?
Yes, probably so. Because usually when a city employee is involved, the city court recuses themselves and allows it to go to district court.
Okay, let me ask you one more thing that I got text. I know you probably did too. Your phone probably blew up yesterday. Do you see any evidence that her case was handled any differently than the regular public, being released on her own recognizance? Would that have happened to me or to you or to to anybody from the general public?
Oh, of course. The city court now is using a system where on first-time offenders, they release people on their own recognizance.
So that's pretty common.
That's very common. Don't draw any conclusion of that by any means.
Okay. And can you walk me through one more thing? I keep telling you that. What happened to her from the moment she was arrested to the moment she booked out? I assume she was handcuffed, etc. Can you walk us through what probably happened to her?
Probably they took her down to the a room where they conduct the field sobriety test and or video. And at that point, after having her do those field tests, so to speak, they then have her give her the opportunity to blow. She chose not to blow. Then at that point, she's processed, and then she waits for the judge to either set a bond or release her on her own recognizance.
Was she handcuffed when she was arrested? I would assume so, correct?
Of course. That's standard operating procedure.
Okay. Gotcha. If she calls you today, what do you tell her?
Come in as soon as possible so we can evaluate the evidence.
Ron Miciotto, local criminal defense attorney. Thank you for your time. I am so sorry to call you so early and wake you up on your vacation. I can't thank you enough for joining us.
Anytime.
You bet.